Welcome to the first March edition of the Chant Pod, presented by Revolution Mortgage. I'm Sam Wiederhaft. This is one of the best times of the year because it's almost time for March Madness, and Coastal men's basketball could play a part in that. The Chants take the 3 seed to Pensacola for the Sun Belt Tournament after setting a new program record with 11 Sun Belt wins this season. The Chants received a bye all the way to the quarterfinals on Saturday and are now just 3 wins away from their first Sun Belt title and first NCAA tournament appearance since 2015. Of course, to talk us through what this season has been so far, we bring on head coach Justin Gray. Coach and I talked about how thrilling this season's been, what's made the Sun Belt so close this year, and what it's going to take for the Chants to return to the big dance. Let's hear from him. Here's my conversation with Justin Gray. The month of March is here. There's no better time than March Madness, and the Chanticleers are looking like they can make some noise this upcoming tournament. Talking before the Sun Belt Tournament with Coastal head coach Justin Gray. Coach, before we begin things, just want to say congratulations on what was a fantastic regular season that provided so many memorable moments to Teal Nation.
The beautiful part about it is your voice is a part of a lot of those moments, right? And so in this day and age of social media and having good calls, I want to say thank you, for what you guys did and throughout the season and keeping the fans engaged and always supporting us and trying to get information that not everybody hears or knows. You guys have done a great job of giving us sort of an inside look at the team.
Well, it was extremely fun, and you guys made it that. You guys built up those moments that were just incredible, and we get to talk about those here on the Chant Pod today. The first question I got for you. I mean, how are you feeling going into Pensacola as the 3 seed for the Sun Belt Tournament?
Yeah, I mean, it is. Our guys worked hard all season long, and to finish the season tied for second, and it's a large group. Driving back from JMU, my brain was hurting trying to figure out what were the scenarios. Yeah. But ultimately, we wanted to be the best possible team that we could be this season, and we still have an opportunity to build on that. But to finish the regular season, tied for second and being able to play. Being a 3rd seed to play less games to be able to get to the NCAA tournament, we're grateful for that. But we put in the work and we earned the right to be the 3 seed. So the work hasn't stopped. Guys have been going at it the last couple of days and getting prepared to go down and compete against whoever we end up playing on Saturday.
You're the 3 seed, so you got to win 3 games to win the Sun Belt Tournament. And I mean, March just has a different feel to it. These games mean a ton, especially when you're in a league like the Sun Belt, where you have to win the Sun Belt Tournament to be able to get into the big dance. But just talk me through at this point right now how you're getting the guys ready to play basketball in March.
Yeah, so we don't have classes, so we're all on spring break. So the guys, we've sort of challenged them and treat it like professional sports, and just taking care of your body, make sure you're eating. Getting in and watching film, getting some extra reps up. And then when we get in practice, it's our core values. It's being relentless with our effort. It's competing with excellence. And it's continue to build on our power of the unit. And I always say the secret to us winning is our culture. We believe and we believe and we believe, but we also work hard to sort of put ourselves in position to be successful.
Let's talk about this regular season a little bit. It was a program record, 11 Sun Belt wins. And that's after being picked 13th in the Sun Belt preseason poll.
That's why you play the games.
Exactly, right? Yeah. Those preseason polls means nothing, in my opinion. But, what did this regular season prove about what Coastal basketball can be?
Well, I think a couple things. I think there are some basketball fans in Teal Nation, right? And you come into the HGC and we had some exciting finishes and some exciting atmospheres. I thought the players, are the building blocks of our program, right? And the group of guys that we had, they had the right kind of character, they had the right kind of toughness, both mentally and physically. And then they also just brought a, more than skill set, it was that belief, and I think that was, what the fans saw. And I think we're going in the right direction. For me, I always try to leave something better than I found it and try to, understand, identify what you need to be able to win. And that's what we really needed. We needed guys that had the right kind of character, like I said before, the right kind of toughness that's always going to work and be mentally strong in moments and be able to respond the right way. And we did a lot of teaching of that, right? We have culture classes. We do things that sort of enhance those things and help guys to respond right in those moments because we all have our habits. And then we had some talented players. Like our guards are really, really good. Our bigs got better throughout the year. Our younger guys got better as the season went on, and that's a testament to the coaching staff of going out day in and day out and identifying things that guys needed to get better at, identifying things that we needed to get better at as a team to try to continue to put ourselves in position to win games. And then when you win some, obviously confidence is a huge piece of that. And I mean, I think that's one of my superpowers is to be able to give guys confidence, you know, and show them faith and believing in them, even when sometimes they don't believe it.
Yeah. I think if I had $1 for every time an opposing coach told me, "Oh, those 3 guards are a handful," I'd be a very rich man. I mean, that's what they always said because that was the highlight of your team. But you talk about the moments that this regular season created and getting the fans here at HTC Center, some great environments for these games. When you look back at the regular season, what are some of those moments that stick out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the victory against Winthrop, it always means a little bit more when it's a rivalry game.
Yeah, swept them home and away.
I think, first time beating JMU, obviously it was a big game for the end of the season. Sweeping Marshall, and those are great programs, though, all 3 of those. But every win is special. Yeah. I say it to them all the time. It's so hard to win a game. You don't take those things for granted. And we've been in spots where we lost some games we thought we should have won, but we also been in spots we won games that we probably shouldn't have won, right? But the preparation and the belief and just staying consistent with the work sort of puts you in position to make those plays. And like you said, all those coaches, they said all those things about having those guards. They didn't vote that way because we should have those guys on all conference teams. But it's a little bit more fuel to the fire for our guys, and they're looking forward to playing.
One of the things that made this regular season so memorable was all the close games. I think it was 15 of the 18 Sun Belt games decided by 5 points or less. I mean, what does that tell you about the league going into this tournament?
Oh, I think I saw it. It was 7 teams that have at least 19 wins or something. So it's a good league, good coaches, great talent, and it's wide open, right? And we put ourselves in a position to where we have to win less games than the teams that are below us, which I'm happy for. But the real thing is you only have to go 1-0 each day. Like you can't eat the whole elephant. You can't do it all on the first day. So we've been just talking about practice and preparation, making sure we're doing the things that we've always done leading up to every regular season game. In order to win on a Wednesday or a Saturday, you have to win on a Monday and a Tuesday. You have to win on a Thursday and a Friday with your preparation and making sure you're ready to go.
Your team played the most games in the country decided by 6 points or less at 20.
Yeah.
You got wins in 14 of those games. Why do you think this year's group was able to just pull out some wins in those games that went all the way down to the wire?
I think we do a good job in practice and preparation of putting our guys in those situations, no matter if it's, playing one-on-one and you got to get a stop and you putting pressure on it. No more matter if it's, free throws in the practice. And if you miss, you got to run. You try to put game pressure on them as much as you can. We play what we call cardiac games, and people have called us the cardiac Chanticleers.
That's right.
Because we've been in so many of them. But 2 minutes down 2, got a 1-and-1, play it out. We have scenarios where the coaches are coaching them. We have scenarios where the players are coaching themselves, and we're quiet, just in case we don't have a timeout, we don't have things, and you have to find a way to execute. But we've tried our best to put ourselves in those positions. And don't get me wrong, I'd love to win by 20. It just the other teams are good, right? And the other teams are preparing as well. And just how it went for us, we've won more of those close games than we did last year,
right.
which is a testament to our staff and to our players.
That's why you talk about celebrating every win because they're hard to get. And you talked about some of those big wins throughout the year, beating Winthrop twice, taking down JMU for the first time. Was there a point throughout this season where you realized, hey, this team could be pretty good. They can compete for a Sun Belt title?
I'm gonna be honest, and it's gonna sound so cliche. I told our guys really early on, maybe even before our first game that I thought we had a special group. And it started off just how like quickly we connected in the summer. And it was almost like we had some retention, you know, and the Indiana guys knowing each other, that helps, right? We had a couple guys from South Carolina knowing each other, that helps. But it's still different languages of different terminology when you're trying to bring, 15 guys in to be able to build a team. I think another thing that goes unseen, and for us that's been really, really, key is being healthy. For us to have the same starting lineup, I don't know, you might have the stats, but Jody told me, we were like one of the only teams in the country that started the same lineup for a certain amount of games, right? And that comes with being healthy. That's with our strength and conditioning, with Coach Spainhour, what he's doing to get our guys and keep their bodies strong and ready throughout the season. It's our trainer, Trevor, making sure that he's doing everything he can to make sure guys are ready to go day in and day out. And then, it's the players, right? You get to a certain point in the season where you're all banged up. And you do have a sore foot and you do feel tight back and all those things. But you go back to what's your why in those moments and like, why are you doing it, right? We only have this team for a certain amount of time. If we want to be as special as we can be, then we all got to put the work in. There are no days off. There are no times where we can, take a step back. Everything that we do is important, And you had that famous quote, I don't know who said it, but how you do one thing is how you do everything, and like making sure that we're trying to do things the right way.
Talking with Coastal head men's basketball coach Justin Gray on the Chant Pod, presented by Revolution Mortgage. Let's talk about some of those guys that have made this season so special so far. Josh Beadle, the highlight of this team, Sun Belt Newcomer of the Year, all Sun Belt first team. He wanted to come back to South Carolina to play his last year of college basketball. How much has he affected this program in just 1 year?
Yeah, I mean, it's just his belief and then the work ethic. Like, he's one of the guys that, we have guys that hadn't played at the levels he's been at, right? And the nice buildings and the nice bushes and the plane rides and all those things. But then when you get down here, it comes to just hoop, and he's one of the guys that he puts the work in. And so the rewards and the recognition that he gets, he deserves it, right? And, he'll be our, player of the year in our mind just because in moments of a close ball game, he's one of the ones that believes, right? And he believes that he's going to make a play. It's funny at JMU, he asking me, like, when do you want me to go? I'm like, well, they got a foul to give. We're down one. We got to go early. We need you to not just take a shot. I need you to make a shot. He was like, Coach, I'm making the shot. What are you talking about? I just want to know when you want me to make it. Yeah. And it's that kind of confidence that he has, and everybody sees it.
A couple of game winners. You talk about that one at JMU, the UMass game-winning step-back three that he provided. I mean, just so clutch down the stretch, and I think he's got a few more of those moments left in him in the tournament.
Man, I forgot about that UMass game.
How could you forget about that one?
That's one of the craziest games that I've ever
triple overtime thriller
ever been a part of. The fans were awesome, but the shot making on both sides was, luckily we had the ball, and we made the last shot and he back rimmed that other one. I mean, it was incredible. I don't even know what I was thinking as that ball was going through the air, and luckily it hit the back rim. Yeah. But just an incredible basketball game. That guard trio, DB and J, Dantzler, Beadle, and Jones, they all averaged 14 points or higher throughout the season. Obviously, Rasheed Jones was the only returner from last year's team. But with that trio of guards who I talked about gave opposing coaches and teams just fits throughout the season, why do you think that trio was able to work so well off each other? I mean, they all have an ability to score, and we talk about dribble, pass, and shoot, but their ability to score, there's always somebody. I don't care what gym you go in, there's always somebody that can't guard or defend a little, at the same level as the other guys. And to be at that position and have three of those guys that are out there, they do a really, really good job of finding the matchup and being able to make plays. I think the growth came throughout the season and them trusting each other, and the decisions that they make with two people on the ball are vital for us. Yeah. Because we play a dribble drive offense and we put them in space and we let those guys make decisions and we live with some of the results. But I think the decision making got better over the time, and they were able to get not only themselves shots, but other guys shots on the team as well.
Let's talk about the big man, Nodrick Pete, playing here for his last season of college basketball, and gave one of the best single performances I think I've ever seen against Marshall on senior day. 13 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 blocks as well, which was a single game Coastal record. His 54 blocks right now rank 3rd on the single season program list. Just how have you seen his improvement throughout the season?
Yeah, he's been that way since day one. You know?
Well, you told me before the season that he came in and asked, "What's the blocks record?"
Yeah, I mean, he had a play today in practice. That was, I think he was probably at the elbow. Tristan had a free, looked like layup or dunk, and he came from the elbow, and pinned it on the glass, right? And he just has the ability and he has good timing to be able to protect the rim. And for our defense, that is essential to be able to, if we're playing drop defense and that coverage, you need somebody that's going to be able to protect the rim and make shots tougher, in the paint. And he's done that all year long. And he doesn't complain. He's banged up. He has personal stuff going on. Every day he come in, he's going to give you everything that he has, and he's going to work hard. And he cares about the guys, and I think that's, he could be complaining that we're not throwing him the ball. He's not worried about that. Like, everybody here just wants to win.
Yeah.
Right. And when we win, everybody gets the recognition. Right. And that's something that I think, shows a close-knit group, but it's also the humility that they go about it is, it warms my heart, and it's what I want my teams to be about.
Some of those other guys that have made big contributions, Reggie Hill has had some really solid games. DeJohn Craig coming off the bench and kind of filling that other guard spot. Tristan Thompson in his freshman year coming out really strong. Derek Green on the boards as well. I mean, just so many guys that make incredible impacts. And just tell me about what the relationship is like with this whole team, top to bottom, and how that's translated to the court.
I think, honestly, they're all competitors. And it's so nostalgic for me. All my college teammates, we were like boys off of the court. But when we came in here to practice, I was trying to go at you.
Yeah.
And it's like that every single day at practice. And what you do is it turns guys into better competitors. They get a little bit better because every single day you have to go. You're not stepping back and relaxing. And then it's the trust that's built between the players. Right? You know how hard he's going to compete. You know what he's capable of. You know if DC get an open look, he's pulling and he's going to knock it down and make it. You know Tristan wants to get this defensive stop. You know Reggie's going to go out and get extra possessions and make open shots. You know Derek's going to throw his body around. Like, everybody sort of just figured out their role by what we did in practice. And then not only did they figure that role out, they accepted it, right? And I think that's one of the hardest things to do in coaching is we're all going to give roles. It's up to the players if they're going to accept that role. If they don't accept it, then you can see the bickering, the things going not as well, and you got some dudes playing out of character and those things. But the really, really good teams, they just accept the role, right? And whatever coach asks me to do, I'm going to try to do it at the best of my ability, and I'm going to be a superstar in that position. And we've had a bunch of guys being superstars.
I mean, you talk about the coaching. I think the thing that doesn't get talked about enough is the fact that you came into this season with almost a brand new coaching staff.
Yeah.
So how have you guys come together in year one?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was we had growing pains early on because it's the same in the players. The terminology is different. How you communicated was different at your previous staff. And I thought Coach Lightfoot has done a great job of sort of like, manning the defense, but also help managing the staff. And we spent a lot of time on the road.
Yeah.
When you're in a lot of those meetings, we meet every week, dang near every day, we're talking about something. And there is no bad idea, right? And everybody has a voice. But once we make the decision to go right, we come out of that room and we all going right. And the messaging is all the same. And the guys can feel that. And they understand when coaches are on the same page and connected. So this coach is telling that and this player the same thing that coach is telling that same player. And you need that. But there's nothing like continuity. There's nothing like being able to retain and be able to continue to build. But I thought we, as a staff, we've done a pretty seamless job of like adjusting, and making sure that the main thing is we're trying to help we're trying to have an impact on our players. We're trying to have real relationships with our players, like real ones, not always transactional. We're in this world that is so transactional in college sports. And then instilling faith and confidence in them. Mm-hmm. Like, and that's our three main pillars. If we can do those three things, then, now a guy understands you're telling him the truth and you're not just picking on him to pick on him and giving him a hard time.
Yeah.
And sometimes they need some grace, and we give them grace when it's needed, because they deal with things as well. So sure. It was a good mixture.
Coach, I'll close it out with this one, but coming into this tournament as the 3 seed, a bye all the way. I mean, you got to win 3 games to win the Sun Belt tournament. How much are you looking forward to seeing this team compete for a spot in the big dance?
Yeah, I think it's the same thing I said before. The most important thing is the first one and whatever's in front of you. And right now is preparation. And I tell those guys, the NCAA tournament is one of the greatest spectacles in sports. And I've been blessed to play in them. I've been blessed to advance in them. I've been blessed to coach in them. And it's nothing like it, right? But you're going to have to go through something hard. You're going to have to go through some kind of adversity. And you're going to have somebody to be able to step up and make a play. Maybe it's the guys that have done it all season long. Maybe it's somebody off the bench that comes in and make a play. But you have to be prepared for the moment. And I tell our guys, you do not have to be perfect. There is no such thing as perfection. What we really chasing is excellence, right? And at the end of the day, if you do things in that regards, you can live with the results. And for us, we feel like that'll help us win.
We've got the guys to do it.
Yes,
that's
indeed.
For sure.
Yes, indeed.
Coach, on behalf of Teal Nation, we say thank you for what this season's been and cannot wait to see you guys in Pensacola.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And as always, Chants up.
What a season he's had with this group that's provided so many exciting moments this year. They're looking for a few more. Coastal's first opponent has not been set yet, but we do know they will play Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time from the Pensacola Bay Center on ESPN+. So we'll wait and see how things play out before Coastal gets their first opponent. A win in that first game means a meeting with Marshall in the semifinals on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN+, and the championship is set for Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. So, good luck to the Chants as they look to continue this remarkable season. That'll do it for this edition of the Chant Pod presented by Revolution Mortgage. Thanks again to Coach Gray for coming on, looking back at this regular season while moving forward and looking ahead to tournament play. Have a great weekend, Teal Nation. I'm Sam Wiederhaft, signing off. Chants up.